Transformation does not take years. It begins with a single decision made in a single moment. This truth, if you let it sink deep into your heart, can revolutionize your entire life. Too many people have been deceived into believing that change is a long, drawn-out process, that growth requires decades, and that breakthrough is only possible after years of waiting. But in reality, life does not shift when years pass. It shifts when minutes matter. Think about it. Every great turning point in your life has been born in a moment. The moment you chose to walk away from something toxic. The moment you decided to pursue a dream. The moment you spoke up when silence would have been easier. Those decisions did not take months. They took courage in a single instant. You see, change is not delayed. It is decided. And once you decide, the momentum of heaven and earth begins to move with you. Most people miss this because they confuse time with decision. They tell themselves, it will take me years to become stronger, to get better, to heal, to grow. And while the process of building results may take time, the spark of transformation is always instant. Healing begins the moment you decide not to remain broken. Growth begins the moment you commit to discipline. Freedom begins the moment you say, no more chains. The outward evidence may unfold gradually, but the inward shift, the true transformation, happens in minutes. Let me ask you, how long does it take to forgive someone who wronged you? Years? No, forgiveness begins the very minute you decide to release them. How long does it take to leave behind destructive habits? You might say it will take years to overcome, but the first victory is sealed in the very minute you decide that your future matters more than your addiction. How long does it take to start a new life? Doesn't take years. It takes a moment of bold decision, and then every step afterward is simply walking out the new path you have already chosen. This is why indecision is so dangerous. People spend years waiting, hesitating, thinking, analyzing, but never deciding. And in that waiting, life slips away. The miracle of change is never hidden in time. It is hidden in decision. One bold moment can rewrite the script of your destiny. But fear, doubt, and procrastination rob people of that moment. They think the door of change is far away, when in fact it is right in front of them, waiting for a single step. Let us look at history. Every revolution, every discovery, every breakthrough was sparked by a moment. Scientist says, I will try one more experiment, and the world is transformed. Leader says, I will rise against injustice, and history takes a new direction. A man or woman whispers, I will not quit, and generations are changed. It was not years that gave birth to greatness. It was the power of one decision in 1 minute. Your own life is no different. You may have carried pain for years, but healing can begin in a minute. You may have felt stuck for a decade, but freedom can start in a minute. You may have lived small for too long, but greatness can awaken in a minute. You hold the pen to your story, and with one stroke of decision, you can begin a brand new chapter. Do not underestimate the power of minutes. Do not despise the potential of a single choice. Right now, as you listen, you have the chance to decide, to rise higher, to live differently, to believe again. And that decision, made in a moment, can alter the trajectory of your entire life. The power of transformation is not in tomorrow. It is in today. It is not in years, it is in minutes. All it takes is one moment of courage, one decision of faith, one shift of your heart to change everything. Lasting change is birthed from the courage to act immediately, rather than waiting for the perfect time. This is one of the greatest secrets of transformation. Most people are waiting, for circumstances to align, for opportunities to appear, for the fear to disappear. They tell themselves, when the right time comes, I will move. When I feel ready, I will act. When everything falls into place, then I will begin. But the truth is, the perfect time never arrives. The perfect conditions do not exist. If you keep waiting for everything to be safe, easy, and certain, you will wait for the rest of your life. The people who experience true change are not those who waited for perfect timing, but those who acted in imperfect moments. They had doubts, they had fears, they had obstacles, but they stepped forward anyway. They understood that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move in spite of fear. They knew that action creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. Think about it. How many dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because someone kept postponing them for a future day that never came. How many lives have remained stuck, not because the door was locked, but because the person never dared to push it open? Too many of us waste our greatest potential while sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the whistle to blow, not realizing the game of life has already started. The courage to act immediately is what separates dreamers from doers and wishers from winners. The moment you decide to step forward, you activate forces far beyond what you can see. Opportunities that seemed hidden begin to appear. People you never expected show up to help. Resources you didn't know existed begin to find you. But none of this happens until you move. Life responds to action, not hesitation. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a diving board, looking into the pool below. They tell themselves, "I will jump when I no longer feel fear." But fear never leaves. The fear only fades after the leap. In the same way, the obstacles in your life do not vanish before you act. They are conquered because you act. Waiting to feel ready is like waiting for the ocean to stop moving before you set sail. You don't wait for calm. You adjust your sails and begin the journey. And here is the beauty. The minute you take action, you create a new identity for yourself. You prove to your own heart that you are not a prisoner of hesitation. You teach your mind that courage is stronger than fear. You tell your future, "I am coming." That one act of immediate courage has the power to shift how you see yourself forever. Suddenly, you are no longer the one who waits. You are the one who moves, who builds, who rises. But let us be honest. Acting immediately is not easy. Your mind will give you 1,000 reasons to delay. It will whisper, "Tomorrow will be better." Wait until you have more money. Wait until you have more confidence. Wait until someone approves. And if you listen, years will pass and nothing will change. That is why you must silence the voice of delay and listen to the voice of destiny. Destiny says, "Now is the time." Destiny says, "Step forward." Destiny says, "This moment is enough." The truth is, you don't need perfect clarity to begin. You don't need perfect strength to start. You don't need to see the whole path before you take the first step. What you need is the courage to act with what you have, where you are right now. When you move, the way becomes clearer. When you take a step, the next step reveals itself. When you begin, momentum carries you forward. So I ask you today, what are you postponing? What dream are you burying under excuses? What decision have you delayed because you are waiting for someday? Hear me clearly, someday is not on the calendar. The only day you have is today. The only moment you can use is now. The only time that belongs to you is this very minute. Lasting change is not for those who wait. It is for those who act. It is for those who step forward trembling but determined. It is for those who decide, "I may not have all the answers, but I will begin anyway." When you choose to act immediately, you invite transformation into your life. You open the door for miracles. You declare to yourself and to the world, "I am ready to live." And from that act of courage, everything changes. My friends, we have seen the truth today. Change does not wait for years. It does not hide in distant seasons. It is not buried in the calendars of tomorrow. Change is born in minutes, in moments. In the very instant you decide that enough is enough, and you will not live as you did before. One decision can ignite an entire new destiny. One shift in your heart can unlock the door to freedom. But knowing this truth is not enough. You must act upon it. Lasting change is not for those who hesitate and delay. It belongs to those who dare to move now. The power is not in waiting for perfect conditions. The power is in courage, in stepping forward even when you feel unprepared. The miracle is not in the someday, it is in the today. This very moment is sacred. This very moment is your opportunity. Do not waste it by clinging to fear. Do not bury it under excuses. Do not hand it over to procrastination. Life is asking you to rise, to decide, to act. And in the very minute you choose to do so, everything begins to shift in your favor. So I declare to you, stop waiting. Stop delaying. Stop postponing your greatness. Right now, in this very moment, you can change your life. You have the power. You have the choice. You have the courage. Seize the minute, and your destiny will never be the same again.